Okay, folks, we're back. And just before I continue with the Gamefest games, Ken's Labyrinth is going to appear for the third video in a row, because last time when I ran it, I made the mistake of not checking what the output looked like, and I realized that the bottom part of the game actually got cut off specifically because I chose that. Let's see if we go into setup again. I specifically chose this slightly higher resolution video mode because I thought that it would maybe look better. It might be an advantage to have a slightly higher resolution. Well, it might have been when I was actually playing the game. If you're actually playing the game on your screen, maybe maybe it looks a bit better. But when I was recording, it made the game just a bit too big for the video recording area, and so it cut off the status bar at the bottom of the screen. So let's go ahead and save the changes, save the configuration with the lower normal video resolution, and let's go ahead and run the game. Once again, let's make sure to run ken sbfix and not just ken.exe, because ken.exe will crash as soon as we start playing. So let's run the Sound Blaster fix, and let's just skip all this stuff. And here we go, get straight into the game. So there you go. Now you can see the status bar at the bottom of the screen. So, so of course there's a score. You get points for picking up various things. There is a timer which shows, which shows you how long you've been playing. That red bar is obviously that's your health, which will go down as you get damaged or injured, and go up as you collect power-ups which restore health, like these apples. There's an apple, and that's the golden key, and there's an apple. So yeah, board one. I think what the game is calling a board here is actually a level, and then that one with the head next to it, I believe, is your number of lives, and then the 0 next to the coin is how many coins you have. So if we can find a coin somewhere. See, here's a secret area, but I don't know how to get through here. I think, I guess you have to, do you have to have 10 coins? Do you have to actually win 10 coins in the slot machine that was back there in order to get through to that secret area? Or is there a trick to get in there without save scumming a lot of gambling? I don't know. I'm not sure, but anyway, I just wanted to show that, and of course in the lower right you can see the different weapons. There are 4 weapons in the game, so I think that's it. Just wanted to quickly once again show off Ken's Labyrinth so you can see the status bar, since I was dumb enough to cut it off last time. So, alright, now that we've seen that, let's go ahead and get back to the CD. And let's see, where were we? I finished off last time with Megatron. Yes, that Super VGA modem fighting game. Alright, and here we get to Noid. Let's see, is that... just want to make sure I didn't miss any games, even though why would I? I mean, I've been doing them in order, but I'm just so OCD sometimes. I always get worried that I'm going to miss something, but no, I don't think I did. So, okay, Noid. Soft mixed Noid. I have to confess that I've never actually seen... seen the commercials that this character is based on. Many of you will immediately recognize this character as some character that was used in Domino's Pizza advertising. I never saw those commercials, honestly. I only know of the character, but I never actually saw it on television. Let's see, let's just quickly check noid.doc. I'm curious what... Alright, I guess that's useful. Control. So left arrow, right arrow. And then enter to do stuff. Oh, and Alt X is to exit. I seem to recall there's also a jump control. In fact, it even says right there, avoid the Noid by jumping over him, but there's no jump control listed. I'm pretty sure that up is jump, but since they listed left arrow and right arrow, it would have made sense to list up arrow as jump as well. Anyway, oh, this is nice. It actually tells you how MS-DOS paths work, in case you've never used DOS in your life. Alright, let's just go ahead and play the game. Do I have a joystick? No. Oh, this is the CGA version again. There is an EGA version, but this will be fine. So yeah, avoid the Noid. This is a game, and I'll press a key to start the game. And it didn't actually start the game. It shows me this this title screen even when I pressed enter. And oh, are you gonna? Yeah, he does that little laugh that he does, which plays with digitized sound through the PC speaker. All the sound that you're hearing is PC speaker sound. All right, I guess you have to press enter twice to start the game. So here you go. So that's us. That little guy walking around is a pizza delivery man, and he has to deliver this pizza without getting caught by the Noid. And wait a minute, hold on. I'm not playing the game. Oh. The game doesn't work like I thought it did. If you press right, I'm not actually pressing any key right now, and he continues going to the right. If you press right, he'll start going to the right, and he'll continue moving. And if you press the key several times, then it makes him go faster. But to make him stop, you have to actually press the opposite direction. And I think, yeah, up is jump. So when he's actually moving, then up is jump. So I guess we want to catch that key without getting accosted by the Noid. The problem is that, oh, didn't happen that time. But usually if you, there we go. So I got the key, that's nice. Press enter to unlock the door with that key that we just got. And I think I want to, if I remember right, I want to avoid answering that phone, because I think answering that phone will bring us into a lot of trouble. So we'll just continue on our merry way, and you get some points for getting to the next level. This game is a perfect example of a game that that save states would really make much easier to play, because it's kind of a fun game, but it's very difficult. I would say it's borderline impossible to win this if you don't cheat with save states. I guess it's not impossible. I guess some people have done. I shouldn't say it's impossible. It's not impossible. You just have to really you have to kind of, I guess you have to practice it enough to know what the various pitfalls are. Yeah, if the Noids catch you, then they jump on your pizza to ruin it, and then he laughs at you with that annoying digitized laugh that again plays through the PC speakers. So this is avoid the Noid. It's I think if you press down, then it makes him do a sort of a jump and a duck and run like that. I don't know if that's very useful, but anyway. And yeah, there's no way, as far as I can tell, there's no way to know where those fall-through platforms are either. So you just kind of have to, just have to play the game and memorize them, which is not fun. You know, these games which require memorization, this game does a lot of things which are just not fun. The way it requires you to memorize the layout of every room, the way that, yeah, it's really just, yeah, I mean, how was I supposed to know that that was a fall-through floor there? Yeah, this is really just pure memorization mixed with a lot of, yeah, it's a lot of trial and error, a lot of memorization, and then even when you know where stuff is, and even when you know what's going to happen and where, it's still pretty difficult because, let me actually, oh, I was going to show you what happens when you answer the phone, but, oh, here we go. This phone is ringing as well, so I can show you what happens if you answer this phone. Hello? Yeah, all the phones are rigged with dynamite, so it doesn't actually make any sense to answer any of them. I don't know, the concept of the game is kind of cool. I guess the controls are not bad for such an old DOS game. It's really not a bad game necessarily. It's just I don't really have much fun with it. I don't find it very fun to play. It's more frustrating than anything. So yeah, I think that was the end. Yeah, there we go, game over. So that's it. Yeah, avoid the Noid. I never beat it. I probably could beat it using save states nowadays. But I think I remember seeing already a video on YouTube of somebody actually beating the game legitimately, like without cheating, which is enough for me. So if you want to see how the game ends, you can also find such a video and watch it and probably have more fun than you would have if you actually played the game. So in this case, I was fortunate enough to actually read the documentation, so I know that pressing Alt-X Oh, and it didn't actually quit the game. I pressed Alt-X, but it didn't quit the game. You have to press Alt-X while the game is, while you're actually in the gameplay, not just at the title screen. So yeah, avoid the Noid. It is what it is. It's not a bad game. I mean, I guess it's fun for a few minutes. PC Galaxy Wars. Yet another game with such a generic title that I honestly don't remember what game this is supposed to be. Softmore 9 Pro 14. Let's find out. Softmore 9 Pro 14. There is a galaxy.doc, so let's quickly check this out if I can type properly. For some reason I'm forgotten how to type today. Alright, this game's from 1991. Oh, another game based on Galaxian. Wow, really? How many Galaxian clones does the world really need? I guess I shouldn't say that. I mean, oh, this game is from actually from West Yorkshire in England. That's interesting. Most of these games, of course, are American in origin, but here's a game that's English for once. Wonder what vital.txt is. Oh, hey, it's a BBS ad. Remember BBSs? I remember BBSs. I was active on BBSs in the 1990s. One of Britain's biggest and longest running BBSs. Well, that's nice. All right, let's see. Let's go ahead and run the game and see yet another Galaxian clone. Oh, video adapter type must be specified. All right, well, I guess VGA is probably the best option here. So let's please support the shareware concept. You know it makes sense. Yes, I know it does, but I don't think it's very viable in our world today for some reason. All right, press space. Okay, left, right, space is fire. Q is quit. Okay, seems pretty straightforward. Is there no sound? Is there really no sound, or did I... have I made... Hold on, did I? Oh, I pressed S, and that turned on the sound. It probably said that in the main game screen, and for some reason I just didn't bother to read it. Alright, it's yet another one of these games. I mean, this is a competently made little game, I guess. I mean, at least the scrolling is smooth. I like the fact that the smooth that I keep wanting to say the smoothing is scroll. Yes, the smoothing in this game is very scroll. No, the scrolling in the game is very smooth. Press escape. Why do I have to press escape? Oh, thank you. Can I really not type in my name? I have to actually use this arcade machine style. Okay, I'll just leave it at that. Yeah, it does say that S is toggle sound, and here I can toggle sound. I just didn't note. For some reason, I thought that sound would be on by default. It seems a little bit strange to me to have it off by default, but anyway. PC Galaxy Wars, yeah, another Galaxian clone. I mean, it's a nice looking game. I guess it's fun if you haven't already played 500 clones of this before. So, I mean, yeah, okay. Yeah, not too much else to say about that. It's a game. You can play it. You might have some fun with it. All right. Perestroika. Ooh. I actually regret now that I wanted to, when I was going to make this video, I wanted to run this in DOSBox DOM and not just stock DOSBox, but unfortunately I didn't have the forethought to do that because, oh wait, I guess I also didn't have the forethought to check where the game is actually located. Soft Mix Beta. So, I already made a video. This is another game that I made a video of several years ago. But what I really like, what I'm very happy about, is that since then, since I made that video, I discovered that the sound actually works properly in DOSBox DOM, whereas it does not work in stock DOSBox. I'm tempted to stop DOSBox and run DOM, but I don't know what that'll do to the video because the video is attached to this DOSBox window. It'll probably mess it up. I probably won't bother, but let's go ahead and take a look at the documentation there, the readme.doc. Perestroika is a game you're sure to enjoy. Don't get too addicted. It's a shareware game. Da, 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 da. No, it is not made by a Russian. It's made by Leonard Snyder in Brookline, Massachusetts. The game does contain Russian, so I'm going to assume that the writer is either Russian or perhaps just maybe studied Russian and has some knowledge of Russian. But anyway, do we have any other documents to read here? I don't see any. All right, let's go ahead and run the game. Once again, I'm not sure because there are two executables. Do I run Perestr or do I run Pere1? Or Pere Edin. Okay, I'll just run Pere1 and see what happens. Yeah. Oh, sorry, that it resized the video again because this game runs in a weird resolution that chops off the bottom of the Anyway, there's supposed to be music here. For those of you who don't remember Perestroika because you didn't see my previous video on it, there's supposed to be music that plays during that intro title screen, but for some reason it does not play in DOSBox. It does play in DOSBox Down, which is, for those of you who don't know, it's a somewhat updated version of DOSBox with better compatibility and save states. I did recently actually finally finish this game with save states in DOSBox Down, which I think is pretty much impossible with, it's basically impossible with, well, again, I shouldn't say it's impossible. Probably somebody's done it. I'm just bad at these types of games. And in case anybody wants to know what happens at the end, nothing happens at the end. It's the most anticlimactic ending you could possibly imagine. You finish the last level and the game just gives you your statistics for the game and that's it. You're done. There's no closing screen. There's no special sequence or anything. So there's really not much reason to actually win the game or finish the game. But anyway. A lot has changed too because when I made my original video about this game, I did not speak any Russian or even understand the Cyrillic alphabet. I do now, I can at least read Cyrillic, which is, some of you might be surprised, it's actually the easiest part of learning Russian. Because back then, of course, I'd never been to Russia, and now I actually, I spent almost a year living in Russia, so I know at least a little bit of Russian. I can say on the left that's Versia 2.2, so version 2.2 from the year 1990. I assume that's the name of the creator there, N. Skripkin, and then consultant is D. Chicken, and is that a joke? Is this your name really, D. Chicken? And then special effects are from 4 other people listed there. And on the right you see Zakony Postanovlenia. Okay, I probably shouldn't try to read those because I'm going to mangle the pronunciation. Even when you can read the alphabet, that doesn't guarantee that you'll pronounce things properly. I remember commenting back then that what looks like a Democrat, or what's supposed to be a Democrat looks like Democrat to me, but now I know that what looks like a P to English speakers is actually a Russian R, so it's Democrat, and then below that you have the bureaucrat, and then you have the Varina. Whatever, I should probably just stop showing off my efforts at speaking Russian. This is Perestroika. Again, if you want to see a little bit more of it and hear me say a little bit more about it, I made a video about it years ago. Wow, my game lasted 12 seconds. Also here, when these guys are dancing, you're supposed to hear cha-cha-cha. Cha-cha-cha when they dance, but it doesn't work for some reason because, again, DOSBox doesn't emulate the sound properly. And when you're at the screen, you can press 0 to quit the game or 1 to play again. But you kind of have to hold it down because it doesn't usually work if you just press it briefly. You have to kind of hold it until the game either restarts or quits. So it's kind of like Frogger with a twist. You're not crossing a road. You're using these lily pads to try to get to your destination, and the lily pads represent laws and things like that. So, laws are constantly changing, of course, so you have to kind of take advantage of laws that come up when they do, use that opportunity when the law pops up to use it as a stepping stone to get to where you want to go. And this game is definitely much easier if you slow down DOSBox, which I just did, because it is dependent on the CPU speed, and if you make it too fast, it really becomes very difficult. You could see I couldn't even get past the first level. Even now, it's actually, this is a hard game. I don't know if anybody, Again, I shouldn't say it's impossible. I guess I can imagine maybe somebody somewhere actually finished this game legitimately without cheating. Um, but even with save states, I found it very difficult to actually complete the game. It took me quite a lot of tries and quite a lot of time. Um, but yeah, basically the game has 25 levels, and in each level your goal is the same. You have to collect that coin thing with a number on it, which represents a milestone for Perestroika, the process of rebuilding, which began after the collapse of the Soviet, or actually it began before the collapse of the Soviet Union. I guess you could say it precipitated the collapse of the Soviet Union. And you pick up bonuses and things which do absolutely nothing except give you points. They don't give you any kind of... There are no power-ups. There are no power-ups in this game. There's no special abilities. You've already seen everything that there is in the game except for the enemies. There are enemies who... Oops. There are enemies who eventually show up in the game and they try to chase you down, and if they touch you, then you die instantly and lose a life. But other than that, you've already seen everything that there is to see in Perestroika. Just basically, just imagine doing this for 25 levels, and there you go. That's the whole game. So, I guess I'll go ahead and just. Yeah, I'm about to die, obviously, because I think I have. I wonder if the game ends when your lives go to 0, or do you have a 0th life? You know, some games you can keep playing them even after your lives disappear because the number of lives portrayed actually represents spare lives, like how many guys you have in spare, and then in other games it represents how many people you have total. So when it goes to 0, the game ends, whereas I think you know what I'm saying. Whoops, that was stupid. Okay, that guy that you see there in the upper right is a bureaucrat. And, okay, and I do get a 0th life, so I can try again. But, yeah, that guy's a bureaucrat. If he touches you, then you die immediately. It is possible to, whoops. Oh, okay, I walked into him. Well, that was stupid. It is possible for the bureaucrats to die also. If the pad that they're standing on disappears from under them, then they'll die and disappear, and I think you get some points for that, so... even if it happens accidentally. So anyway, I'll press 0 to quit, and there you go. Perestroika. It's a pretty nice little game. I do like that game, but like I said, it's the kind of game that I'd only want to play with save states. If I was going to play it for more than a few minutes, I would want to play with save states and try to get to the end, because otherwise it's just kind of frustrating and kind of pointless. But I'm that kind of gamer. I'm that kind of guy who doesn't really get much out of repeating the same process hundreds of times in an effort to beat a game. So, ooh, Solar Winds. Now we're getting into something completely different. Most of the games that we've seen so far have had PC speaker sound and EGA graphics. This is something completely different. This is actually a, okay, sophomore solar. This is a more advanced kind of game. Not that I have anything against PC speaker sound and EGA graphics, but I think some of you folks might be a little tired of it. Well, now we're going to see something a bit more technically advanced. If I can, I'm just wondering, is there really not a setup file or anything like that? Does it just run? I mean, normally you have to set up your Sound Blaster. There is a solar1.doc, so let's quickly, okay, I was looking for a year. It's there in the text, 1993. So this game's from 1993. It's really amazing to think of how much things changed around that time, around the early 1990s, because we've seen already several games from 1990, 1991, and it was still very common. It was still quite usual at that time to have games with only 16 colors or only PC speaker sound. And here, already in 1993, just 2 or 3 years later, we're already in an era where it was very common to have Sound Blaster sound and 256 color graphics. And the leap from 16 color to 256 color graphics is really quite large, as you can probably intuitively imagine, even if you've never... I'm sure most of you folks... I mean, if you folks watch my channel, I'm sure you've seen the difference already, but... sorry, SolarWinds doesn't support the AdLib card, only the genuine Sound Blaster card, or the one emulated by DOSBox, presumably. All right, let's give this a try. Solar 1. All right, that looks promising. Seems to be running so far. Stone. Interactive Media presents Solar Winds, copyright 1992. The text file lied. It claimed the game was from 1993, but here the copyright date says 1992. Okay, Solar Winds, The Escape, which I believe is the first episode and the shareware episode, and then there was a second episode, which was the registered version, which concludes the story. Do I need to press something here to advance? All right, let's see. I guess I don't need the mouse, but it would be nice to have music and sound. Oh, I should speed up the game. Maybe it turned that off. Maybe it turned off music and sound because it detected that the computer was running very slowly, and that's because I had slowed down DOSBox for playing Perestroika. But let's press C to configure, and mouse. Nah, I'll play without the mouse. This game works better with the keyboard, I think. Joystick, also no, please. I just want the keyboard. Sound Blaster sound effects, yes, I do. And musical score, yes, I definitely do. This game has... Alright. It really sounds like an Epic game, and by that I mean a game from Epic Mega Games, because the instrument sounds sound like the same kind of instruments used in Jill of the Jungle and probably other games from Epic Mega Games as well. Yeah, this music sounds... I really like the sound of the music in this game. This game has quite nice music. I'm not even bothering to read the story, even though here's a game where it actually might make sense to read the story, because the story actually does have some relevance to this game. But yeah, I'm not going to bother. Stone here, go ahead. Greetings, you're Jake Stone, the bounty hunter. That depends on who you are and what you want. Who I am is not important right now, and neither is my dialogue, which is why I'm going to skip it. Alright. So this is Solar Winds. You zoom around, you can control your spaceship with the arrow keys, just like I did there, and that ship was trying to communicate with me, and you can press C to communicate with it, but I'm not going to bother, because I'm just going to be a complete dink, and... Oh wait, how do I play the game? Oh, Alt is fire, so space is to stop quickly, like that, as I just did. Alt is to fire your primary weapon, and control shoots missiles. And this isn't a combat game. It might look a little bit like the Star Combat, it looks at first a little bit like the combat sequences from the Star Control games, but it's not. It's actually a game more about exploration and about the story. There certainly is some combat element to it, but it's more a game about moving around the map and exploring stuff and finding stuff. I actually quite like this game. I was underwhelmed by it at first. I thought it wasn't... when I first played it, I thought there wasn't really much to it, but it's actually... it's quite a nice game. I have to admit that it grew on me, and I've really come to like it. I really do like this game. You can press M for your missions. Okay, so our first mission is to meet with Emmer Kane. That was probably the bearded guy who hailed us and whose dialogue I skipped. Here are our weapons, and you can change your weapons using the number keys, and also you can change your missiles using the letter keys. Cargo, okay, I don't have any cargo, I guess that's like your inventory. Engineering, okay. Communicate, no response. Oh, we don't have anyone to communicate with right now. Science. Oh. This does a scan of the local area planets. This is Globan, which I'm going to guess is supposed to be like Earth. If I come down here, I guess that green spot in the upper right, you see that radar. There's another green dot down here. I'm going to guess that's another planet. Oh, wow, it's a small little planet. This is Luma. Oh, I'm going to guess that these are analogous to Earth and the Luna, the moon of Earth. I guess I should go to -31-1 to meet with that guy's name, to meet with that guy whose name I already forgot, because I'm bad with names. Turgo or something like that. Ermagerd is something like whatever. I don't remember what his name was. What are the coordinates? -31-1, yeah, okay. What's the guy's name? Emmer Kane, okay. Let's meet, okay, I'm gonna guess that red dot is him. Slow down so we don't overrun him, and I guess I press C to communicate. There we go. Greetings, bounty hunter. I also will not read this dialogue. Oh, a man such as me. Oh, well, are you getting flirty, sir? I mean, you have a marvelous beard there, sir. But you know, I'm not really into this kind of beardy man action. I mean, well, I don't know if our character is. Actually, don't really know very much about our character. I'm going to assume that he's. Actually, I shouldn't hire anything. Hire. I'm trying to read and think at the same time. I shouldn't assume anything about him because I actually have no idea who he is. I don't even remember his name. I think was it Jake Stone? I think our character's name was Jake Stone, but I don't even remember because it's been about 20 years since I played this game, and I didn't bother to read the story as usual. What do you mean? Let's see if we can get a more explicit answer out of this gentleman who seems to be getting very sassy with us. Oh, he's looking for an assassin. Unless... Is assassin code for ass in? Maybe he's suggesting that he... Okay, I should probably end this communication. Oh, thank you. Thank you for letting me end the communication so swiftly. I was worried that was getting very awkward suddenly, and I was worried that was going to continue for much longer. Wait, if I check my missions... Oh. I think I screwed up. I think I was supposed to actually accept some mission or some job from him, and now that I didn't... I have no tasks, and I'm probably doomed to float pointlessly in space forever. I'm pretty sure that guy was a story mission, or would have given us a story mission that would have actually advanced the story. But since I cut off the conversation with him rather abruptly, can I go back to him and actually continue talking to him? It would be awkward if I lost him. I mean, I just happen to remember that he's around here because I didn't go very far away, but if I actually went far away enough that I couldn't find him anymore, that could be awkward. Oh, I can still resume the conversation with him, so... Why hire me? I've heard you are the best. Oh boy, he really has, What if I say I'm not at all interested? You fool. Okay, so you can choose to either reconsider or end the communication. Okay, this is clearly a story mission, so I guess I have to accept. I need more pay. More pay. Alright. Alright. So it's kind of one of those but thou must situations where you don't really have a choice. I mean, you seem to have a choice, you seem to have the illusion of choice because you can choose different options in that dialogue tree, but all roads lead to the same path. All roads lead to you accepting the mission, or just, like I said, just drifting around in space endlessly forever. Capture or kill person near -6, -7. Boy, it's going to take me a while to get there. I don't think I have any way to go faster than this. Later on in the game, you do develop a way to travel faster, but right now I think I'm doomed to just traveling at this kind of pokey speed, which is not really ideal for when I'm trying to show off a game in a matter of just 5 or 10 minutes. So you folks have already seen, I think, the basics of the game. You can kind of get an idea of what the game is about. It's actually a good game, I have to say. I do like this game. It's really not much bad that I can say about this game. I like pretty much everything about this game. Once you start to play it and once you start to get into it, the story, I mean, there's not that much of a story necessarily, but is that a planet or what is that? Oh, it's an asteroid. Okay. Except I don't crash into it, so I don't understand what the point of the asteroids is if I don't actually collide with them. Do they serve any purpose? What are those red things? Oh, combat sequence. Boy, these guys are not putting up much of a fight, are they? They're not, wow. Boy, that guy sure didn't present too much of a challenge, did he? Is the combat mode gonna stop now, or am I just... Oh, okay. It stops automatically after a while, after you kill the enemies, so... Yeah, I really have pretty much nothing bad to say about this game. I think my biggest complaint about the game is that it's too short, which is a good thing. I mean, kind of is a good sign in a way, isn't it? I mean, if you think that a game is too short, that means you enjoyed it. That means you would like to see more of it. So I guess that's good. I mean, for what it is, this is a pretty good game. And yeah, I really can't say too much bad about it. It has everything. It kind of wants to be Star Control, and it's not exactly Star Control, but it's I think it's a good game in its own right. So, let's see. How do I get out of the game? Oh, here we go. Press escape, and then we can quit game. Yeah. If you like what you've seen, I can pretty much recommend Solar Winds because I don't have, like I said, I don't really have anything bad to say about it. And I guess coming from me, that's pretty high praise. I'm kind of like Yahtzee in the sense that if I can't think of anything bad to say about a game, then you know it must be a pretty good game because I'm usually pretty good at complaining about things. Right. So coming back here, ooh, Spear of Destiny. Spear of Destiny is actually the sequel to Wolfenstein 3D, so it doesn't really make a whole lot of sense for me to start with the sequel when the first game is down here. So I'm pretty sure most of you folks have already seen Wolfenstein 3D at some point in your life. If any of you folks watch my channel regularly, I would be very surprised if there's somebody who has never seen Wolfenstein 3D. But hey, let's go ahead and play Wolfenstein. Soft Action Wolf. And here we can, let's see, do I need to do some setup? Guess not. I guess I can just run Wolf 3D. And, oh, the music's not playing. Normally the Host Wessellied, which was the Nazi anthem, plays during this screen, but it's not playing because I think this version of the game doesn't play the music by default. You have to actually turn the music on. I think, yeah, it defaults to PC speaker sound, so turn on AdLib sound effects, Sound Blaster sound, and AdLib Sound Blaster music, and now we'll get nice proper, yeah, now you can hear the music, the menu music playing. And let's go to change view because I want to make the view larger so that it can fill as much of the screen as possible. Here's the story, and wow, it's 35 pages. I mean, this is the story and various other information about gameplay, which of course I'm not going to read. If anybody really wants to read it, you're certainly, obviously, more than welcome to do so. But I mean, there's so much information about Wolfenstein 3D. It's such a classic game. It's such a well-regarded game even today. If you want more information on this, I don't think my channel is really the best place to get more information about this because there are other people who have done this game much more justice than I ever could. But just for completeness sake, let's go ahead and start a new game. In the shareware, there are 6 episodes in this game, but only the first one is available in the shareware version, so we'll start with episode 1, Escape from Wolfenstein, and because I'm terrible at these games, I'll play on the easiest difficulty setting. Get psyched, yeah. So the story, for those of you who didn't read it, is you're in this jail cell, you're a prisoner in Castle Wolfenstein, and we've just killed this guard and incapacitated him by murdering him and taking his gun. So we have a gun with 8 shots in it. We also have this knife, which we can use when we run out of ammunition. So the knife is your kind of fallback weapon for when you have no ammunition or you want to save ammunition. But let's take out our gun and see what we can do with these 8 bullets. So over here, oh, now we have 16 bullets because we picked up an ammunition pack on the floor that held 8 shots. That is a meal with some chicken or turkey leg on it, which will restore 10 points of health if you pick it up, which I can't pick up now because I'm already at 100% health. And if we come through here, we should find our first enemy walking around here, and he's facing away from us. We can actually just very easily knife him in the back. And he shot me because I'm an idiot and somehow didn't manage to kill him, even though I stabbed him several times. You know what, let me switch to that gun. There we go. That's a little more efficient. Well, it's not efficient in terms of saving bullets, obviously. I mean, if you want to save ammunition, the most efficient option is to use the knife, but using the gun is obviously better in terms of, I mean, it's obviously faster, and it lets you save some health because you can kill the enemies from farther away. And generally speaking, the farther away you are from enemies in this game, the less damage their shots do to you. There is a random number generator in this game, so there is some element of randomness. Shots do a random amount of damage, but the random number generator is weighted in such a way that at closer distance, shots tend to do more damage. There's a whole algorithm which you can find online if you want to look it up. I'm not going to recount it here, obviously. But anyway, this is a secret wall. If you press spacebar here, that wall opens up, and this game is full of secrets like that, which basically consist. This was one of the first games, I think, which introduced the idea of the secret, which was basically just trying to push every single wall in the game until you find a wall that would move, which became kind of a staple gameplay mechanism for first-person shooters under DOS for many years. Here we have some more ammunition. We also have the Gatling gun, and we have a couple of medical kits if we need them, which we don't because we're still at 100% health. Come in here and dispatch that fellow, and there should be another one in... Oh, I think on more difficulty settings, there's another guy in here. But since I'm playing on the easiest difficulty, there is no one here. There's just some treasure, which we can pick up for points. Treasure doesn't really do anything. It just gives you points. It's not useful other than that. But of course, completionists always want to get all the treasure. And behind this picture of Hitler here, if you push that, that's another secret. And inside you can find more treasure and more ammunition. And I'm not going to bother being a completionist because I should already start wrapping up the video here. I should, but I guess I'll show off the first level of Wolfenstein, since why not? Just in case anybody's never seen it before. So this is the last room in the level. We could go, that's the elevator door. We could go through that, and if you flip that elevator switch, it takes you to the next floor in the castle. Or you can push this wall, and then there are a couple of more push walls behind it. Yeah, more health, but we don't need that. Here's another push wall, push that, and then I think there's one more. Yeah, here we go. So this is another elevator. This elevator takes us to the secret level. Each of the episodes has exactly one secret level. So this is where you get to the secret level of the first episode. And somewhere here, yeah, right there is another push wall. And that blue sphere with our character's head inside it is an extra life. So you pick it up and we get an extra life. And if I had been damaged, if my health was below 100%, that would also restore my health to 100%. And it also gives you, I think, 25 ammunition, if I remember right. So flip the switch, and... Ooh, I got all the secrets. Didn't get all the treasure or all the kills. So yeah, completionists always want to get 100% and all these things. They always want to kill all the enemies, find all the secrets, and collect all the treasure. I've done quite a bit of that in the past because I'm kind of completionist that way myself. Yeah, just for the short demo, I think that's enough. That's Wolfenstein 3D. It's a fun game. I do like this game. I mean, I don't think there's anybody who seriously doesn't like this game, unless you're somehow opposed to violence in computer games, in which case you probably don't play a lot of computer games. I mean, it is violent, but it's certainly not very violent in comparison to a lot of games that we're seeing these days, like... I mean, if you've seen the new Doom that just came out recently, it's miles away from this. I mean, shooting a couple of shots at some Nazis and then seeing a few drops of blood coming out, it's really very far removed from the level of violence that we've reached in games today. I can't really take this game. I have a hard time believing that anybody who plays this game is going to go out and cause a massacre because they were inspired to do so by playing this game. So back when it came out, this was considered an incredibly violent game. It was considered an uncommonly violent game for computers. Today, it just seems so tame. I just can't. I don't even find it especially violent. I find it just quite. Well, anyway, it's a fun game. It's a good game. I do like this game. I think it has a lot going for it. The engine does have the disadvantage that all the walls are orthogonal. Oh, that guy actually opened the door while I was talking. I spent so much time talking that guard on his patrol came in here and opened the door. So yeah, there's no possibility of having different levels, by which I mean everything's at the same height. You can't have stairs or inclines or anything like that. You also can't have walls that are at anything other than a 90-degree angle to each other. So basically every level is just a grid. Every level is a grid. All the walls are just basically blocks, which is pretty primitive by today's standards, of course. But back then, it was really quite groundbreaking. And even today, I mean, I really think this game holds up today. Some people might disagree, but I think this is a fun game to play even today. And there are so many mods for it. If you have ever been interested in Wolfenstein, you might want to check out the huge modding community, because people make a lot of sort of total conversions for this game and things like that. There's so many different fan-made mods and level packs and things like that for this game. You could just spend years, probably you could literally spend years just playing all the different mods that have been made for this game, because it's an easy game to mod. The nice thing about the engine is that since the engine is quite simple, it is quite simple to make mods for this game, and people have done so over the years, and some of the mods are really quite good. So yeah, good game. I mean, it's good fun. It like I said, it was fun back then. It's still fun today, and I still play it sometimes. Really, again, not too much bad to say about this game. Nothing really negative to say about Wolfenstein. It got pretty much everything right. It was released at a time when when the market really was ready for a game like this, and it hit all the right notes. It really did everything right. So, okay, I'll go ahead and quit out of that, and that was Wolfenstein 3D. Next time, I guess I'll play Spear of Destiny just so we can see it, even though it's basically more of the same thing. Until then, thanks for watching, everyone. Hope that you've enjoyed, and I will say bye to you for now, and look forward to showing you more nice shareware games in the next video. Ta-ta for now.